What's going on, guys? This episode is fucking awesome. I have a guest on this episode, and I won't want to say who it is right now, but he delivers some powerful shit. People that are battling depression, suicide. You want to listen to this. Someone that's starting a business, you want to listen to this. Someone that's trying to get healthier, you're gonna want to listen to this. This shit's fucking powerful. Your mouth's gonna drop to the fucking floor during this episode. He delivers some great shit, and I'm excited for you guys to listen to it.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Starter Story podcast, where today can be the start to your story. So today we have another special guest. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick background to him. This is someone who lived an unhealthy lifestyle. He lacked poor nutrition and physical activity. He was obese for the majority of his teens and his early 20s, battled suicide and anger issues. He had a mindset that led him to buying and selling drugs. And it wasn't until he started and found his fitness journey where he started to make some huge transformations. He became a fitness coach, not only for helping people master their physical health, but also their mental state as well. He started a company called Unbowed Nutrition, where he started his own brand and movement because he started gaining recognition and support from different supplement companies and kind of found an insight as to what was lacking inside of them. And I just want to quickly give you guys the statement for them and for his life, and we'll get him on. So the statement is: it doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. If you have a dream, chase it. Fuck your fears and turn your dreams into a reality and live the life you were born to live. I don't think I could say that any better. I fucking love that, man. But ladies and gentlemen, I give you Christian Craig.
What's going on, guys? How are you, man? What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be on here. Honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
I'm excited. And we were just talking a little bit before this, and you're busy on the grind, so we're going to get you in and out of here and help some people out. So I appreciate you coming on. The first question I've got for you is, I talked a little bit about your past as a teen in your early 20s and some of the life that you lived before. But what really got you into your fitness journey? What was that thing that brought you into it?
So the biggest thing that brought me into it would have been, so my senior year is when I really started, of high school is when I really started taking it seriously. I always worked out, did stuff like that throughout high school and stuff, more so for like sports and athletics, stuff like that. But my senior year is when I got really serious about it, is because honestly, I went through a breakup. So kind of one of the typical, broke your heart kind of thing. So you've got in shape, all that stuff. And that really motivated me to do it. And started taking nutrition more seriously, instead of just working out and then going to smash McDonald's or Taco Bell, I was making healthier choices, healthier decisions on what I was consuming, So that's what really kickstarted me getting into the seriousness, I guess you would say, of actual physical fitness and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And that, I think, like you said, a lot of people, they start their journey like that. They have someone who they're going to spend the rest of their life with, and something happens. You see those, I'm not sure if you're on TikTok, but there's that trend right now going on where people post them and their significant other, then like a before video of like a picture of them, and then they break up, and then the bass drops, and then they're in the gym. It out, man. They have a huge transformation.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious. I mean, it's pretty fucking awesome. And that's some of the things that mentality that kicks in for people in the gym is something that people are able to go into and escape from life. They can, they can throw those headphones on and just fucking bang some weights, and it's exciting. It's super exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, it's dope seeing all these people, who are actually, unfortunately, they have to go through that circumstance to find that motivation and stuff. But I mean, I wish we lived in a world where people can find it ulteriorly, but sometimes it does. It takes you just feeling destroyed and feeling so little to actually pull yourself out of it and like make better of yourself, So it sucks people have to go through that hard point to get that motivation. But once you have it, then it's not even though still ulterior motivation. It's just what kickstarts it, And then you finding what you have within and what drives you and all that stuff just continuously evolves and goes from there.
Absolutely.
Like you said, through my little brief story, and we might get more into it later, but there has been multiple events that have just springboarded me, kept me going, motivated me, and kept me going, So, but if it wasn't for that one little thing, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's something that, I personally, I haven't had anything crazy happen in my life. I hear stories of people that lose significant others, or have a family member that passes away or whatnot, that from maybe like heart attack or something with their physical health, that kicks them into that drive of, oh shit, I need to turn this on right now. And it is a shame, because if people would just realize before that happened, maybe they could have much head start in life with it. But at least they figured it out. And there's two alternatives that they can take: is they can turn their life around, or they can just continue to go on the path that they were going. So
exactly,
credit.
Absolutely.
Switching gears real quick, we talked a little bit about you battling depression and suicide. Talk a little bit about that. There might be someone on this podcast that's going through. What's some advice that you would give to them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this is even something I'm becoming a lot more big of an advocate in now, because my depression, all that I've lived with basically my entire life. I always thought it was either unhealthy, like because I was obese, or it was something like that. Like I just never felt comfortable in my skin. I never felt like anything I did was ever going to be good enough for anybody. I always felt like I was having to prove myself to people. And I became an automatic yes man, like someone would ask for something. Yeah, no question. I got you. I help you. I just was always seeking validation or approval through people by giving myself up to help them however I can, no matter what was going on in my mind, and not getting validation or like credit or what it was. And I think that's the biggest thing. It was always, I wanted the feeling of people like to appreciate. I wanted to feel appreciated or needed by people, So the first time like I had my attempt was back when I was still in my late teens, early 20s. That's really when I kind of, again, it was one of the springboard moments we talked about. And looking back now, it was a bunch of superficial reasons. It was stupid stuff, like not saying that anything is stupid, but being able to look back now where my mindset was, because I do understand at the moment people are in that headspace. That's the biggest thing. That's what weighs them down. But yeah, it pushed me to a point where I thought I was going to do it, all that stuff. I was walking out into the middle of the woods to a cliff, which is actually one of my favorite spots. I was always go to like just overlook the woods up in northern Arizona, and I was walking out there. I had my rifle with me and stuff like that. That's how I was planning on doing it. And luckily, while I was walking kind of to the cliff before I was going to like take it all in and like kind of have my last moments overlooking, I actually tripped over a rock and almost fell off the cliff.
Oh shit.
So I kind of like tripped and caught myself, and I was probably about 2 feet from the ledge. And I was like, holy shit. Like my mind was just blown, like, okay, yeah, I don't want to fucking die. I literally felt like an idiot that I was driving out there for that, all that stuff, So after that moment, that's what really like motivated me at that phase of my life, like to really get more into the personal training aspect, because at the time I was still living in my hometown of Williams, Arizona. I was managing a gym, doing personal training up there. But I just was not happy, like I had everything in the physical aspect going, but I never did anything for my mental aspect. I was still running with the old crew of going to the bar every single night, just getting blackout drunk. I was not going anywhere in life. I wasn't seeing the training business growing. And no offense to my hometown, I love my hometown, but it is a tourist driven, more so not poverty town, but our main niche in Williams is gift shops, restaurants, and hotels. We thrive on tourism, right? So there's really no room to grow your business in a town that has 2,500 people as a personal trainer. And especially at that time, I was charging dirt cheap rates for personal training, like $25 a session.
Jesus.
And people were still like, oh my God, I can't pay that. So I wasn't making any money. And a couple months before, a gym place that I actually interned out of down here, and I mentored under one of the guys. His name is Scott Keppel of STS Nation. I actually interned under him, and that's how I learned a lot of my styles of personal training, found a lot of that stuff. He had actually offered me a position to come down to Phoenix and be a trainer out of his facility. But at the time, we had a family-owned gym. Like I said, I was part owner. I was running it. I was like, oh no, I got it made here and all that. So I turned down the offer. But after that moment of me tripping, I realized I was like, I'm not going anywhere in this town. I love my town, but I can't really fully reach my true potential here, Called him the next day and said, hey, I want that job. Within a week, I found an apartment. I moved down to Phoenix or Chandler area where he's located and started interning and training out of his gym full time, So that had happened. But then throughout the whole years of my life and my career, I've just still always felt that back of my mind, nothing you do is good enough. Depression, just deep, dark mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it was hormonal health. I thought there was something with nutrition, gut health. I was looking at every other possibility other than my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had the old stigmatism. I was always not grown up. Like my family was very good on mental health, but like the town, again, like I mentioned, mental health wasn't a real thing,
Yeah.
Man up. You're like us as men these days. And that's one thing I'm really glad to see is people are actually becoming more advocates for men's mental health.
Right.
Because for so long, men don't cry, men don't do this. You got to pull up your boots, get to work, you got to provide, you got to do all that, right? So I would fully say I was the 100% advocate of that, of my problems don't matter, no one gives a fuck. I can pull up my pants, I'll get my going, I'll do what I need to do, it'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better. And it never did.
Yeah.
So up until actually within the past year, I'd been battling that. I would have highs and lows. I actually started taking it more seriously. I got into therapy. I did a lot of stuff. And throughout the therapy, all like my issue, he's like, honestly, like we should really look into if you have clinical depression.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and did like tests for it. And sure enough, comes back, I actually have, to where like we tested the gut health was fine, all that. She looked amazing. But then we did another test, like a urine test, to see if my body wasn't producing certain hormones, like to convert to serotonin and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we found the missing link. My body is very sufficient in producing like 5-HTP, serotonin, all those feel-good chemicals in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I actually have an answer, I'm great and all this stuff. But unfortunately, recently within the past year, it hit another all-time low. To where I wanted to opt out. I wanted to commit suicide. And that's where one of my most recent videos I put out talking about that episode on my platform really took off, and like actually had a lot of people reaching me out to become an advocate for mental health and talking about depression, suicide, stuff like that. So after finding or putting that out there, that's really, again, another shift. Like I've found a new direction, not new direction. It's still around fitness and health, but actually attacking like mental health, or advocate for that.
Mm-hmm.
But what had happened with the most recent attempt, again, I was at a very all-time low. What has been going on in personal life, work-wise, business-wise, all this stuff had just piled up.
Mm-hmm.
So a quick summary basically of what has happened to me over the past year. Obviously we had the COVID, all that shit, right? The gym shut down, all that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was lucky enough to be a part of a gym that didn't shut down. I was at Self-Made Training Facility in Scottsdale.
Yep.
I was lead trainer of the gym. We stayed open. We were doing all that. Like there's even clips where I was on the news, like news teams were coming out and I'm like kicking them out because we didn't want them filming our stuff,
Exactly.
But so fortunately enough, I was able to continue training. My personal training business at the time was just fucking thriving because we had so many people that wanted to stay active. So they were coming in paying for training. And so I launched Unbound Coaching temporarily. And I had 5 coaches under me. I had myself, and I just had a team of coaches who we were all training. They all had clients. We were killing it, But then things started to open up again. Clients started going back to their normal gyms. It started dialing down. On top of that, I was also managing the Self-Made. So I was in charge of managing all those trainers, managing the gym. And that just was weighing a lot on me. And on top of it, I still had Unbound supplements and apparel that I was running.
Yep.
So I have 3 different platforms that I'm trying to be the leader for, all this stuff, trying to stay positive, motivational, inspiring all day, every day. And that just weighed on me, so that was just weighing on me. I found myself falling into the depression, started kind of getting into a little bit more drugs. I was out partying a little bit more than I should have. Nothing like crazy extent. It was just more going out, having fun,
Yeah.
Then just mindset crashed again. Dark cloud everywhere I went. No motivation to talk. I didn't want to go see family, didn't want to see friends. I was just with my girlfriend and we would literally just sit on her couch, and it just kills me because looking back now, I can see how I was acting. Like I would just be laying on the couch, not wanting to talk. I was actually going through hormone therapy at the time. So I was getting all these crazy heat flashes. So like if she was trying to cuddle, I'd say, no, I don't want to cuddle. So just physically like pushing her away from me and emotionally pushing everybody away.
Yeah.
So eventually that led me to get to a point. So prior to that, I also had a full pec tear. So I tore my pec working out. So personal training was out the window. I couldn't train anymore. I couldn't work out anymore for myself and that's always been my main outlet for my mental, is working out. Right. So then I tore my pec. Things start getting worse. Mental's down. I'm literally just sitting at home in recovery. Can't do anything. On the recovery aspect, the moment I was able to do a push-up, I was eager to get back into being able to work out. I was hungry. I wanted it. Like that was the only thing I had to keep me mentally sane.
Mhm.
So my whole focus went into that. Still not dealing with anything in the mental aspect, like, oh, I'm just depressed, or I'm upset because I tore my pec. Oh, I'm being selfish because I can't work out. I can't lift heavy like I used to. I'm being selfish. That's the one thing I kept telling myself is you're selfish, that you can't go bench how you were, or you can't lift how you were. There's plenty of other people out there who can't do those things.
Mhm.
Suck it up. You're the one that did all the shitty lifting techniques in your younger days that led you to tear your pec. You brought it upon yourself. So I go through recovery, start recovering, but depression is still there. Like, so the tear is what really springboarded it into everything. So I stopped training at Self-Made. I told Jeff, the owner, I was like, hey man, there's nothing against you, but I need to stop training. Because at the time I thought running the gym and the training was taking away from my business, what I truly cared about. So the thing I've been doing since 2010, blink of an eye, was gone. Work was gone. All that was gone just because of that pec tear. Again, I know I made that choice.
Mhm.
I could have started training again if I wanted to, but at the time I was like, my mindset, no, I cannot be doing that. I need to focus on the business. So that just springboarded the depression, got super dark. Fast forward to what I was saying earlier, where I'm like with a girlfriend and I can see how I'm acting, pushing everyone away mentally, emotionally, and physically. Like, didn't want anyone around me, couldn't let anyone in. The walls around my heart were higher than ever. My mind space was dark as ever. Literally just suicide thoughts. No one loves you. All that stuff. Like, it was just flooding every single day. It hurt to get out of bed.
Mhm.
So then I do what my old self does best. I like cut and ran. Broke up with the girlfriend, did all that stuff. Pretty much basically saying I am not in a mental space for this relationship. Walked away from one of the best things I have in my life, which was her. Literally went on a downward spiral to where I was drinking every single day, drugs every single day for a good 2 weeks straight. Like, just literally trying anything and everything just not to feel or cope with what was going on in my mind. And during this time, I am still going to therapy. I have my therapist. I've been working with him at the time now for 4 or 5 months. And I wasn't being a true client, I would say. I was telling him, oh, everything's perfect. Like, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing everything. Because again, I wanted to be that model citizen. I wanted appreciation. I wanted him to look at me like, oh, dude, you're a great client. You're killing it. But I fucking wasn't. I was literally, like, one thing I remember, literally right before one of my calls with him, I was drinking whiskey and hit a line of fucking blow just sitting in my room.
Mhm.
And I get on the phone with him, like, dude, everything's fine. Life is perfect. I'm okay. Like, I can see the light. I'm getting better, but it was a fucking lie. And fast forward a couple months, I did get sober. I realized those life choices were getting bad. So I got that out. And I really did start working on the mental health of things. And then there was just one day, dude, it was September. My family and I just got back from a family vacation celebrating my mom's birthday in Mexico. My girlfriend, who I split with, was supposed to be there with me. And there was one night I was there. I was just sitting on the beach, just reflecting everything, dude. And I sat there and I was like, I literally fucked up everything good in my life. I fucked up my coaching business. I fucked up my personal training business. The supplement business at the time was at a complete standstill because of all the delays and back orders of COVID. I placed a reorder on new supplements, new labels that are now, because my old tubs used to be white, very like appealing, very soft. I redesigned it. Everything's black, grungy, my true personality. I placed that order over a year ago. And I still, to that date in September, hadn't had anything in stock because everything was delayed. Tubs were back ordered. Ingredients were hard to source. The label printers, we went through 4 or 5 different companies just to try to print my fucking labels. Even had a company that practically stole money or said that they did our project when they never did. Luckily, they refunded us, or the owner ended up refunding us. So then we had to find another printer and all this stuff. So all that just is weighing on me. And I'm just sitting there in Mexico one night, like, I was like, damn, just reflecting. And I don't remember exactly because I had been with family. We had a few drinks. It wasn't like tremendous. I wasn't drunk or emotional, but just the way my mind was racing, it just really just pushed me deeper, So I got back home, and 3 days after we got back home, I did the same thing I did in Williams. I grabbed a bottle of whiskey, I grabbed my pistol, and I drove out to the desert. And I actually physically wrote out a note on my phone. I did all like the steps of what people can read, what I wanted to say to the people who I who I gave up on, and who I was unplugging myself with, like kind of my final words. And I just remember I was sitting in the desert. I had it, all that, and I had the whiskey and drink, and I grabbed my pistol, put it to my head, and I went to pull the trigger, and it just clicked.
Jesus Christ.
So for a few days, like I was just thinking, like, again, I had the exact same thing that happened a while ago. You know, I was like, holy shit, like driving home, I had such clarity. Mental fog was gone. I knew what I wanted in life. I knew I wanted to get back with Holly, my girlfriend, because that was one of the best things that happened with me. And I see that my depression caused me to ruin it. I saw what I needed to do for the business, basically like stop worrying about things that I couldn't control. I was overthinking, overstressing about everybody in this world is having issues with supplies. I need to quit stressing about that. I need to quit comparing my company to other companies. Like literally, like it almost like, I don't know if you hear like people talk about like their third eye, like when you open your third eye, you have like, I literally felt like that. Like it was just such a euphoric feeling of clarity. Colors were brighter the next day. Food tasted better, everything. Like literally saying that, I sound like I'm talking about fucking Tyler Durden, a Fight Club, where it's like his food will taste better, all that. Like I literally felt that, dude. And so I called the girl. I told her I wanted to get back with her. We discussed, we got back together. We are back together now. So that's been going on 4 months now, strong, better than ever. Supplements are finally in, all that stuff. But so ever since I made a video, I talked about everything. I was really transparent and I put that out there. Actually, there's a friend of mine, or a family friend from Williams, who reached out, and we were just talking about it. And he had a very similar lifestyle, suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempts. And an incident that happened for him is he was saying, like, basically, when he went to do it, he heard a voice of a friend, you know, and like, so my mom was telling me his story because he wrote a book. I didn't physically talk to him. She was telling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
He heard the voice of his friend say, stop, like, what are you doing? And this is a friend who was gone. He's deceased. So how in the world are you going to hear that voice other than like an angel or whatever it might be?
Yeah.
So I started thinking, and I'm like, I wonder if my mind subconsciously made me hear the click. So I would actually go through with pulling the trigger. Like it snapped me. Like it was my body or my mind's last resort to pull me out of it. Cause I actually had the guts and the balls and the weakness to put the gun to my head and mentally start squeezing, you know, because after that happened, I took my pistol outside and I just fired. I emptied the fucking bag in the desert, just angry firing, like fucking, just emptying it.
Yeah.
Fired perfectly, you know? So I believe that that was my mind subconscious, or something just made me hear that to snap me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that ever since then, I've become more of an advocate. I'm really heavy in the depression, talking to people. And the best advice, kind of answer your original question I would give anyone, dude, is reach out. Because the biggest thing I always told myself is I don't want to burden others with my problems. I do have a close group of friends I know I can talk to. I know that for a fact because we do it all the time.
Yeah.
But there are times when you have those thoughts, you're subconsciously or not even subconsciously, you're like, everyone else has their own shit going on in their life. I don't want to burden them with that. I don't want to do that. Like, these are my problems. I know the answers. I know how to fix it. Like, I need to actually do the breath work. I need to do the therapy. But literally the best way to get out of it is talk it out. Like, you have to talk. You can't keep subconsciously burying that shit in you, because it will not go anywhere. Because you keep thinking that, you keep saying that stuff, you are literally programming your mind to believe it and to always have that subconscious of not good enough, no one wants to hear my problems, all that shit. So the best way is to reprogram your fucking mind. Reach out to somebody, reach out to a friend, reach out to my fucking self. Ever since I've put my video out, I've had multiple people who have reached out, and I'm grateful that they have, because I'm able to talk, share my story, share my experiences. And if there's just one little thing I say that they relate to, great, because that possibly saves someone's life.
Yep.
So that's my biggest advice, is reach out to somebody, swallow your fucking pride, so that way you can be present for your people. You got to be present for your family, be present for everybody, because if you unplug and you opt out, you are going to you are going to project that mental shit onto all your other people, because they're going to start thinking, what could I have done? What should I have done? How did I not notice? and then that could potentially lead them to possibly doing something,
Yeah.
So save your life and save thousands of others,
Bro, that's fucking powerful shit, man. That's fucking that's powerful. I mean, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Society pushes, especially men, to think just fucking bottle it up and deal with it.
Absolutely.
And
there's
far from the truth.
even a TikTok I've seen, like there's one TikTok where it's like it just shows all these other men, like who would you call or whatever, like if you were at your lowest, and it just shows 50 multiple men, just nobody, no one cares, no one cares, like, and they're all just saying like, and that's true. Men, we all have that in our mind, that we are supposed to be men. We don't cry, we don't have issues, we provide, we suck it up. Dude, you sucking it up is you getting help. You bearing it isn't going to do shit. You need to be present to provide.
Yep.
So if you're literally bearing that shit and carrying that burden on your shoulders, you can't provide for anybody unless you're providing for yourself first.
Correct.
And this is one quote that I've really been applying to myself. So there's an original version of the quote, which I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you the version I've kind of flipped into my brand of being the wolf, right? So the original quote I heard was, "The king eats first." Right. So I've flipped into my branding, the alpha eats first, right? The lead wolf like eats first. And the main meaning behind that is, so if you have the king of the kingdom or the alpha, the leader of the pack, how are you supposed to provide for your pack or your kingdom or your people if you are not well fed, if you are weak, if you are sick, if you are not healthy? How are you going to protect and provide for your kingdom or your pack? And that's not just physically meaning eating food. That means your mental state. If you are in a cloudy mental state, how the fuck are you supposed to help your family or your friends? If you are in a bad mental state, how are you supposed to do anything in life? So that is a quote that I've really been applying, is the alpha eats first. Take care of yourself so that way you can better protect and take care of others.
Absolutely. And the problem with that is that people think that's you being selfish. That's not you being selfish. That's you.
No, and it honestly,
that's
like
far from the
people
opposite.
who are 100%, people who are afraid of being called selfish for taking care of themselves, dudes, no, be fucking selfish, right? Like, I just, like, looking back now, like that was my mindset, but now I'm realizing, I was like, dude, I needed to be selfish. Like, I am very, like, the biggest selfish thing I could say I did was breaking up with a girlfriend to take care of my mental state, because I clearly knew I wasn't in the position then to be present for her. So I had to break up to take care of my mental health and all that. That was a very selfish act. And could I have gotten myself there with being her? Yeah, absolutely. I probably could have pulled myself out, probably wouldn't have gotten to that suicide attempt, but we'll never know, because I made that choice. I made that selfish choice. And I am, like, I feel shitty saying it, but I'm kind of glad it happened, because I am here today. I am able to be here clear-headed. I am present. I am focused. My heart literally feels more open than it has ever felt, all the way back to that original breakup, that first love. Ever since then, I always had like bricks covering it, bars around it. It is fully open now. So I'm able to be present in this moment due to that selfish act.
Absolutely.
I'm not projecting to people to do all that shit, to be extremely evaluate before you act, think before you act. But yeah, be fucking selfish. Take care of your fucking self. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to say no.
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing all that, man. I seriously do. That's powerful. That's going to help a lot of people.
Absolutely. And I mean it when I say, anyone who sees this, anyone who hears it, reach out to me. I will 100% talk to you.
Absolutely, man. Let's change gears real quick, because I want to get you out of here too. Let's talk to me a little bit about Unbowed and your vision for it.
Yeah, so Unbowed, I launched that 2 years ago, so 2020. And like you mentioned in my introduction, I spent multiple years throughout my transformation and working with other companies. One of the most recent companies I worked with before launching my company, I started pretty much from the ground up from an ambassador and moved all the way to where I was working in the corporate office. I was like in it, like I was working for them. But just nothing against them. They are great dudes. They're awesome dudes. I just have a different vision on how companies should resemble themselves in the industry, how like things should be portrayed. I can give a shit about the money coming in. Obviously, do I want to make money? Yeah, that's how I'm making my living.
Of course.
But I personally care more about a deep personal impact, right? So now that I've launched Unbowed, my main mission for that is it's a inspirational, motivational brand that is going to reach out to people who see our shit, that take my products, that wear my shirt, that it's going to just be that token, or it's going to be that resembling icon that is going to project people to be what they want to be. I want people to literally say, fuck your fear, go after what you want to be who you're born to be, let your true self come through. So the main mission for that is that mission statement is to motivate and inspire people to be the best version of themselves. Fuck your fear, do what you want to do, be who you want to be, chase your fucking dreams. It's just, fortunately, I've had a lot of experience in the supplement and apparel world throughout my career, that's just the ship that my motivation or my mission is riding on. So obviously we have some great products. Our new products have launched. I firmly believe in my products, all that stuff. But again, the products and apparel, to me, I just really give a shit about the mission and the inspiration that I can give people. Absolutely. Like when I get messages from people, like I've had people who've tattooed my logo on them. I've had people message me daily, like just like, I've seen one of your videos, or like they send me videos of them wearing the fuck your fear bracelet, and like people telling me their stories on how they've applied my ideology, my ideals, and my unbowed movement lifestyle, what I project and preach, how they've applied that and how their life is transformed. Dude, if I just had 5 of those people throughout the entire career of Unbowed, that would be worth it, because that is 5 people that stepped out and have changed their lives and are now living their lives just off of some fucking words and stuff that I've said.
Yeah.
That means way more to me than if I sell millions of products, millions of tubs, you know? So that main mission is to motivate and inspire fucking people. And hopefully through me motivating and inspiring them and them like following what I believe and what I feel they should be doing, they'll buy a shirt and they'll buy some products, you know?
Yep. No, I love that, man. Because people that start a business, they start it to worry about making some money. That's what people think.
Absolutely.
That's the wrong mindset behind it. You got to start a business to help people out. You got to solve a problem for someone. You solving a problem for someone and actually caring and giving a shit about them, that takes care of them, how much money you make, because people are going to keep coming back because you actually give a shit. It's not just a transaction for them. A lot of companies treat people as just another number. That's the problem with so many different companies, and people try and set themselves apart. That's the number one way you can set yourself apart with other competitors, is giving a shit about your people and your customers.
Exactly. And that has honestly been one of my biggest mission statements is we actually give a shit. You're not just a number. You're not just a sale to us. Like literally so right now we are still very small. It is literally just myself filling orders and my mom. My mom, it's a very good family business. She is very involved in a lot of the back end stuff that I just don't understand when it comes to accounting, stuff like that. Like, so it is a family business. It's just more so it's been my vision, my thing, but she has just been right by my side every step of the way. They're like, literally, we package our orders neatly. We want it to be like a present when someone receives it. We get an order coming in, like, and we see the name and the address automatically. Like if I'm not with my mom, if I'm at home, she'll text me, oh, who is this person? Like, do you know them? And all that. Like, she's actually looking to see who they genuinely are as a person, instead of, oh, they only spent $40. Oh, damn, they spent a lot of money. Let's send them a bracelet. Like, oh, cool. Who is this person? How did they find us? Like, thank you. Like, we're generally trying to like thank these people. And that's been the biggest difference. Like the amount of people we've said who, you actually give a shit about us. You guys have good customer service. Like if we have an issue, or like if I mistakenly sent out a wrong size on something, cool. Yeah. Within a few days, you keep that size. I'll send you your proper size. Don't bother about sending it back. Like just take care of your fucking customers. Like, and that's just what my bothers me is even like throughout me not having supplements, like me trying to order other companies and products, I'm just like, damn, like these companies really don't give a shit about who's taking their product. Yeah. They don't give a shit about what's in it. They just want it to taste good and be crazy high stem to get the stem junkies or whatever it is. Yeah. No one gives a fuck. Like, no. So that's where I'm at, dude. I just want to take care of my people, take care of my pack.
I fucking love that, man. That's amazing. And I have my buddy and I started a company about a few years ago, and we're going through the same thing right now with so many different issues with manufacturing and shipping issues. And we've ordered our product. We've been putting this in over a year as well, a little over a year now, actually a year and a month. And it's the most frustrating thing when these you feel like you're out of control because you can't control a lot of this stuff, and you got to keep your people happy. And people have come to us and they want returns and everything, and most companies would be like, fuck you, we're keeping your money, just wait for it. Well, hell no, like people are gonna get their money back. Like you got to treat the customers how you want to be treated too. That's the most important thing. So I love that. All right, one more question for you and I'll let you go. We got New Year's, obviously it just started. You're in the fitness space. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone that's just starting the New Year's resolution with getting healthier?
Stick to it, dude. Like that's the biggest thing, is have fucking discipline, physical and mental discipline. Motivation, you can get motivated from listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video. That'll hype you up, but that shit is temporary. So when that shit fades off, don't fall off track. Stay 100% pushing forward. Stick to what your goals are, because if you don't stick to your goal and you're like one of those typical New Year's resolutioners that goes to the gym for a month and then stops going, you're going to repeat that cycle every fucking year. So literally just suck it up, get it done, stay motivated, take care of your mental, take care of your physical, and literally just stick to it. Be disciplined as a motherfucker. Because if you don't, you are going to beat yourself up for it. You're going to continually feeling like I'm a failure. I failed. I didn't do this, or I did another year. I didn't do my resolution. Oh, I'll get it next year. Break the fucking pattern, break the cycle, and actually change your life.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And the people think, like some people talk to me, they reach out and they're trying to get healthier, more disciplined. They're like, I'm just not always motivated. You're never going to be always motivated. That's not a thing.
No, not at all.
The person is motivated 24/7, 365. That's not possible. You have to have the discipline and the willpower to actually want to stick through it. That's
absolutely
part of it. So
absolutely. Like, do you think I want to wake up every day and go do cardio and I want to go fill orders by myself and then go to the gym later? Fuck no, but I have to do it. I know I have to do it because that helps my mental state. It helps me feel good. It helps everything. You do it because you have to, not because you want to.
Absolutely. Bro, I appreciate you being on. Where give everyone your Instagram link or anywhere they can reach out to you, your website, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So my Instagram is just Christian_unbowed. We have the Unbowed Nation Instagram, which is the actual page for just the supplements and products, and that's all there. And then our website is unbowed.com. And then my email would be Christian@unbowed. Any of those platforms, you can message any of them. It'll get directed right to me through my team or for myself. So just shoot me a message, get in touch, whether it's about your mental health, supplement questions, apparel questions, even helping starting your own business. I do not give a shit. Whatever I can do to help, reach out to me.
I appreciate that, man. That's amazing. And again, thank you so much for being on here with us today.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. I'm honored. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely. All right, man.
Right on, brother. See you. Have a good one.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.